Welcome back to Fourth and Troll Fantasy. What is going on, Fourth and Trollers? Welcome back to Fourth and Troll Fantasy, the most entertaining fantasy show on the planet. My name is Noah Selby.
And I'm Wes Selby.
And that's Wes Selby, like he just said so. We got some guys for you today. All right. We got some guys. We got a couple of dudes to talk about. We got 8 players today we're talking about that we are refusing to draft in fantasy football in 2025. Simon Cowell, big red X on the nice little boy that
He's trying his best,
songs.
but he's not good enough. I don't care how cute he is. He's not good enough. Get him off the stage.
Yeah. Kid sucks. Listen, got some guys here that also suck. All right. We're going to talk about them here. We're going to jump straight to it because these are some notable names, some big names over the past handful of years in fantasy football that we're looking at saying, no, sir. No, sirree. No, ma'am. We're not doing it. Before we do that, follow us on all our socials. Join our Discord. That's always fun, and we're having a good time in there. Having some lovely Nick Chubb conversations last week. And always, really. Nick Chubb. It's really just a Nick Chubb Discord is what it is, for more or less. But yeah,
go
that's
Texans,
where we landed at. Yeah. Go H-Town. Who knows? Another older veteran player to go, and hopefully it doesn't end the same way Diggs did in ACL tear. So we'll see.
Yikes.
Anyway, let's jump straight to it, Wes. I like your first name. Your first name's Wes. I like the first name you're talking about, though. Player you're refusing to draft. Who is it?
Yeah, well, we're going to start out hot. And this isn't just to try to bait you in this video. We really mean this. We're not drafting Saquon Barkley. We're not touching him. And in fact, Noah and I are giving each other our list so we could try to get an even amount for everybody. And we both put him down. And here's the reality. A lot of things outside of this Madden curse. You want to put that as cherry on top, keep that in mind. But here's the reality. This guy is injury
I hadn't even thought about it.
Yeah, just it's Madden curse. Just think of that too. But the truth is this guy is injury prone, okay? Saquon Barkley has only played 3 healthy seasons, and he's played 7 seasons in the NFL. I can't trust a guy in the first round completely like that. I get that he's got a nice offensive line, but this is an impossible season that he just had to repeat, to be justifiable for a first-round draft pick. Yeah. You got other statistics you're looking at here, too. I've been crunching the numbers because we had a video about quarterbacks and how to tell if they suck. If you haven't seen that, go watch that. I'm looking at running backs now, and there's already all kinds of proof with running backs where it's like if they have 31 carries in a single game, 9 times out of 10, they're not making top 10 the next year. Just forget who the player is. They just don't make top 10. They get worn out. These 350, 70-yard attempts or 370 attempts and plus, all that stuff, there's statistics that prove he's not making top 10 next year. You want to go to the injury prone, you want to go to the Madden curse, you want to go to the impossible for 2,000-yard rusher to repeat. It's only happened once out of all the 2,000-yard rushers. They've been top 10 the next year. Only once. Chris Johnson of all of them. Not even Eric Dickerson. Not O.J. Simpson. None of them. Just him. That's enough of that. It's just, I'm not touching Saquon Barkley. Oh, and last thing, because I know someone's going to comment. Well, what if he falls to you in the 3rd round, Wes? What if he falls to you in the 3rd round? What if Saquon Barkley's there in the 3rd round? Then I play with fucking idiots, and it doesn't matter anymore. I'm going to win. He's not there in the 3rd round.
Then take him. Do it then if you want. Sure. Yeah. Do it then. Yeah, I agree. Like you said, Wes, we both had him written down. I have some notes that I heard earlier in the offseason that I wrote down. So I was like, I'm sure I'm going to want to mention this at some point. He was explosive last year. More 40-plus yard runs last year than Todd Gurley had in his entire career.
Holy crap.
7 rushes of 40-plus yards is more than Todd Gurley had in his whole career. He had more 60-plus yard runs last year than Christian McCaffrey has had in his entire career. He had 4 60-plus yard runs. It's just unrepeatable. Like it just, and if he repeats it, then he's the greatest running back of all time. I don't know, dude. Like I just don't even know what to say. I get it. It's a perfect storm, the line, all that stuff. But yes, it's going to be very hard to repeat. So That's all I got. That's all we got there for that. I'm gonna talk about another running back here, a guy who's really exciting. Talking about explosive, I'm refusing to draft Devon Achane this year. We've seen 2 seasons of Devon Achane so far in his career. One has been headlined by insanely impressive efficiency. The other has been headlined by unbelievable PPR value. This year will be headlined by the Miami Dolphins franchise officially throwing everything down the toilet and this inevitable rebuild happening at whatever point this year. I can't trust the amount of unknowns of the Miami offense. Are we going to get the kind of offensive scheme where we had last year, where he's getting an absurd amount of targets every single week? Or are we going to be going back to 2 years ago when he had the crazy efficiency that was fair to say you cannot repeat it? You cannot repeat that sort of thing. There's just too many unknowns. He's going as the RB6 in the second round, and it feels like we're drafting him at like the highest possible ceiling for him, when there are guys going 1 and 2 rounds later, like Chase Brown and Kyron Williams, that I would much rather have those guys at that cost a round later and be able to grab a top wide receiver where I could take Achane there instead. I just don't trust the unknowns of the Miami offense.
Devon Achane is the 4th running back this entire century that made top 10 that's under 200 pounds. And the other 3 that made it did not repeat the next year. There is a real argument that people were making against us last year, spearheading the reason we were full-throated. Devon Achane is going to be one of the best running backs in the whole fantasy football community, and we were right. So please take our word for it when we say we're not even touching him this year.
Yeah.
Complete 180. All right, my next one's not so hot. It's just one just for confirmation, just to kind of paint the picture. Guy in my drafting, player I'm avoiding is Travis Kelce. Everyone's already kind of on that same ship, but I want to just make sure that there are a couple scenarios that we work out together. Travis Kelce is there, and you've got one more pick left in your draft. I still think that you can probably find someone that has much higher upside than Travis Kelce. Travis Kelce is basically like eliminating a bench spot, in my opinion, right now, because look me in the eye, trollers, and say that you're going to draft Travis Kelce and have the guts to drop him. How could you possibly drop Travis Kelce? I don't care how bad he's doing. People were holding on to Mark Andrews for dear life despite putting up back-to-back goose eggs, and it paid off. And that's, I think, what's going to kind of carry over. I'm not dealing with that headache. Now, Noah and I dropped Mark Andrews. Didn't work out. Still made playoffs, so we were fine in that department. But, like, I don't think with what happened with Mark Andrews and Travis Kelce last year that people think that Kelce is going to somehow turn it around, but that they're willing to drop him if he doesn't work out. The name value is too important to it's too distracting. So I'm just avoiding him entirely. I'm not touching Travis Kelce.
Same. I agree. Next thing I'm going to talk about here, it's another running back, another young career running back who made waves last year. It's James Cook. I am not drafting James Cook this year. I refuse. I do. Listen, the headlines of the offseason for him have been contract disputes. Okay, there's been issues. There's been unhappiness. You know, he comes out, he has a 16 rushing touchdown year, and maybe deservedly so. He thinks, hey, I was a second round guy. I would like lock in a new contract for myself. But here's the thing. This is a genuine committee. Okay. There were 198 other running back opportunities in this offense last year between James Cook and Ray Davis. I get it. He had the touchdown explosion, like I just mentioned, 16 rushing touchdowns. But year 1, it was 2 rushing touchdowns. And year 2, it was 2 rushing touchdowns. If you do not believe in touchdown regression, I don't know what to tell you, because there's no way he scores 16 touchdowns again. We talked about it last year with Travis Etienne. Hello, ding, ding, ding. We nailed it right on the fucking noggin, dude. Like, it was like right there.
That's
like
right.
It is absolutely in store. Listen, if he even gets to 8 touchdowns this season, so still a massive improvement from 2, But if he gets to 8, he isn't getting the volume. He had barely 1,000 rushing yards this past season. And I truly believe coming into the 2025 season, he's not even going to be the primary pass catching back on his team. I believe Ty Johnson is slotted into that role. This team loves using the committee. If he only scores 8 touchdowns, but he still gets the yardage, I think he's like maybe inside the top 20 running backs, but I just don't see that going well for him. He has a quarterback who is going to be a near lock for double-digit rushing touchdowns as well. There's many other guys going after him. You got James Conner, Kenneth Walker III, Chuba Hubbard. Like, those are 3 guys right there that I would rather have on my team. So I'm just pretty out here with James Cook. I refuse.
And we're releasing this video in June, and who knows which team he's on, just with the contract confusion. And then, I've heard that his house is on the market as well in Buffalo. So I don't know right now if he's even going to be Buffalo. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Dude only had 207 rushes. 16 touchdowns and 207 rushes. That's impossible to follow. I agree completely. I was going to put him down, actually, as like another player, Noah, just for guys that I'm avoiding too. It's very obvious. Yeah. Stats are the stats. Math is math. All right, next guy that we're going to talk about, player that we're avoiding, touchy subject, but these are hot takes. We got to help you know now before you even get to training camp. I'm not touching Christian McCaffrey. I'm not touching him. I'm worried. We were worried last year. Some of us still took the option. We said, nerf for nothing. Let's go get Christian McCaffrey. Some of us were too scared because there was some weird calf strain or whatever. I don't know what that turned into. Oh, Achilles tendonitis in both his feet, where he played 2 games, and right now, today, in OTAs, 49ers beat writers are already saying, he's not hitting that 5th gear, folks. He can't get that breakaway speed yet. He's not Christian McCaffrey anymore. He might still do fine. He might still be around top 15, top 20, but there ain't no way I'm taking him as ADP where I'm going to lock him as my RB1 if I go wide receiver first. I'm not trusting someone who has a worse offensive line, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. I don't remember exactly how that offense changed, but it doesn't matter. Actually, offensive line doesn't matter. Christian McCaffrey's banged up. He's older. It's too late. I'm not touching him. You can take your shot. You're probably going to be wrong, and I hope you listen to Fourth and Troll. I want to know if you have any opinions on this, Noah, because we didn't talk about him, but I'm out on Christian McCaffrey.
Dude, I've gone back and forth a lot this offseason where I'm like, do I just like the risk is baked into the cost right now. Like, he's going as like, I believe like RB 8, 9, 7, 8, 9, something like that. And I want to be honest, if Christian McCaffrey plays 17 games, I believe he has as good a shot as anyone to finish as a top 3 running back. Now, it's RB7. Just going to be whether you believe if he'll play, if he will, they have paid him a boatload of money, and I believe they are fine driving his career into the ground and using him and beating him to death with carries and touches and opportunities. And so I don't know. I just don't know where I say. I really have gone back and forth multiple times on it, and I don't know where I'm going to land at come draft day. But if he wasn't a guy who has done this already in his career, where he's been injured 2 straight seasons, and then he came back and was like the RB1, and then the next year was the RB3, and then it was like, okay, I get you were younger and that kind of thing, but it's just I really don't know where I stand. I have a hard time thinking he won't return on investment if he plays 17 games. So I just don't know where that's going to end up at.
Today he is at the start of the 2nd round in redraft.
Like, that's the thing. Like, if I'm at the turn, he could be my RB2. Like, I could get Ashton Genty and Christian. Like, it's just hard.
Anyway, Ashton Genty and Kyron Williams.
Sure, or Christian. Yeah, it just depends on. I just don't know where I land.
It's your flavor of injured running back. Do you want Kyron Williams?
Which one do you want? Yeah.
Oh gosh.
All right. Next guy we're going to talk about here is a guy that I hope I'm wrong on, because I love the player, but I just think the hype on Jaxon Smith-Njigba has gotten a little bit out of hand. I do. I think it's been a little inflated, and I get it. He's a guy that had high expectations coming into his rookie year. And then he didn't really deliver. He showed some flashes. And then year 2 happens, and it's like, he's the guy. And then he finishes as the RB, or as the wide receiver 9. And it's so exciting because it's the second year guy that came in with all his expectations. And he's currently going as the wide receiver 12. And listen, you can't deny he was the wide receiver 9. He was, you see that and you go, wow, special. He had a massive week in week 9, exploded. Wide receiver 1, he had 37 points. Did you know besides that game, he didn't top 24 points once the whole year? In fact, he only went over 20 points 3 times all season besides that 37-point game. In fact, he was only a top 20 wide receiver 6 different times last year. He had 10 weeks outside the top 30. So I just think that the numbers might be a little inflated, and I just think we might be having a little bit of overhype here on the second year breakout player. I don't really know if I trust Sam Darnold as a quarterback. I've got a number of different things written down here that are quotes from the offensive coordinator and the head coach pointing to them being a more run-heavy scheme. They drafted a fullback in the 5th round of the draft. Who drafts fullbacks nowadays? Like, what does that even mean? That's
just 70s.
And then, you think of JSN, you think maybe a slot guy. They add Cooper Kupp, who's like a bona fide slot wide receiver. Obviously, opportunity is there for him to be a great fantasy wide receiver. I'm just not convinced he's going to be a consistent enough player that you will be happy drafting him as a top 12 wide receiver.
I couldn't have put it better myself. You guys, fantastic stats. There's a gut reaction I made in our Dynasty League together. Someone offered me a crap ton of stuff for him, and I was like, yeah, I'll take the trade because there's no better time for Dynasty to sell high on JSN. But yeah, he and Cooper Kupp are the same. I think they're the same wide receiver. One's just older. So I'm very interested to see how that Seahawks offense operates. Here's the last guy we're going to talk about here on this video that has over 25,000 views by the time you're watching. Clearly, this video has so many views. Patrick Mahomes, the player I'm avoiding. Some of you are already on that boat with me, that train, that ship, that car, that camel with me. You're already on this vehicular unit of some sort, transportation that says Patrick Mahomes is not worth drafting. But there is a conversation of, well, what if he keeps falling? You can take him right now. He's the QB 6. He is in that 6-7 round range. 59 is his current ADP on Sleeper. Are you going to take him then? I'm not. Are you going to take him in the end of the 7th round, 8th round, 9th round? Where does he fall? Well, I'm going to list a couple of quarterbacks because also, if you haven't watched that quarterback video we already mentioned, it ends with why Patrick Mahomes won't make top 10. And there's some stats for that too. And also, I don't think I mentioned it in the video, but a couple of times where I was like, if so-and-so does this, and the quarterback has this, and then I said, they don't sound very good, do they? I did that twice. Both of them are Mahomes stats. His stats weren't very good last year. So here are the quarterbacks going after Mahomes. I'll play a game with you, Noah. You tell me yes or no if you're drafting Mahomes instead of this player, okay? If you're drafting Mahomes instead of this player. Baker Mayfield.
I go Baker.
Bo Nix.
I go Bo Nix.
Jared Goff.
That one's close. I'd go Goff. Yeah, I'd go Goff. But there is a question about the OC, but I'd probably go Goff. Yeah.
Kyler Murray.
Yeah, I go Kyler. I think.
Yeah, you go Justin Herbert. Who are the quarterbacks going after Mahomes right now?
Similar. I feel like outcomes here, but I probably
you get that Herbert McConkey stack.
Herbert. I'd probably go Herbert. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And then for me, this is where I draw the line. Brock Purdy.
I'm personally pretty in on Purdy this year, so
Okay,
I think I'd still
I'll
take
keep
Purdy
going.
over
Hang with us
Mahomes.
here. Caleb Williams.
No, I'd go Mahomes.
Okay, so there you have it. So there's 12 quarterbacks that Noah and I both feel comfortable about. You're in the ADP range of the 11th or 12th round.
There's a
Mahomes
guy
gonna
going
fall.
even later, by the way, that I definitely take.
Oh
Which
yeah.
we'll
I
save
mean, do you
that
want to
for
say
my guys
you're
episode.
saving? Okay. Yeah. Well, I mean, also I'll just throw out there Drake May is also in this
You maybe take
conversation
the
too.
upside, yeah.
Trevor Lawrence is in, Matthew Stafford. Are you kidding me with Devontae Adams and Puka Nacua? Holy smokes. So, like, there's so many quarterbacks to take after Mahomes that outside of the stats I gave in the other video, I'm not taking him.
Yeah, I agree. It's just too much of a risk there for everything. We just don't know what offense you're going to get in Kansas City. Last guy here, and it's a guy that I am thrilled for his 2024 season that he had. But it's Terry McLaurin. I refuse to draft Terry McLaurin in 2025. What do you mean, Noah? You're not touching a guy who was a top 5 wide receiver last year. What he's doing at such a value. He's going as the wide receiver 16. We finally got what we hoped for. Terry McLaurin got a quarterback. He was a top 5 wide receiver. Yes. Sadly, he is wide receiver James Cook for me. It doesn't. The touchdowns will not continue. Terry McLaurin was one of just 10 wide receivers in the last 25 years with 13 plus touchdowns on less than 125 targets. The touchdown regression is just massive, especially when you have another weapon added to the offense like Deebo Samuel, and it's not just Olamide Zaccheaus or Byron Pringle or the corpse of Zach Ertz out there just competing for targets. It's just, listen, Terry's still going to be a top 25 wide receiver. He has been in 4 of his last 5 seasons. He's been a top 30 wide receiver his whole career. But unless he can reciprocate the touchdown numbers of last year, we're looking more of like a fringe top 20 wide receiver in my eyes. And that's not really what I'm looking for in the 3rd round of my drafts. That's not really a home run pick for me when there are guys like Devontae Adams, Rashee Rice, and DK Metcalf all going behind Terry. I just don't see it happening again for Terry McLaurin. So I'm avoiding him, and I refuse to draft Terry McLaurin this season. Let us know. Let us know what you guys think. Drop it in the comments. Let us know. Let us know who you're refusing to draft as well. Give us some advice. We can always stand to hear some other viewpoints as well. And we will see you guys next time. Make sure you're following us on our socials. Make sure you join our Discord. It's free. What's better than free? Nothing. Anyways, we'll see you next time. My name is Noah Selby.
And I'm Wes Selby.
Like, subscribe, and ring the bell. And this has been 4th and Troll Fantasy.